Well, g'day guys, Letmeister again. Haven't been out for a while, so just getting out this morning for a bit of a hike. We started off at Galston Gorge and heading south on the Great North Walk. Bit of fire trail here after the climb out of the gorge, and then we'll go up through Tunks Ridge campsite and maybe down to fish ponds. But what I've got coming up for you in this little video is a quick look at a new Bivvi that I bought. Picked it up second hand, and also a tarp that I ordered in, or a Basha if you like. It's a military issue one straight from Great Britain, so stick with me and we'll find a little spot in the woods here and we'll set up those two bits and pieces and have a cuppa. Righto, just a bit of a update. We've come past Tunks Ridge campsite and we've headed up the hill and we're coming along Quarry Rd fire trail and then drop down the fish. Righto, so we've arrived at this thing, and just behind me is the path that we're going to take. We've been on the Quarry Rd fire trail and now we're dropping down the side. It should be fairly steep down here until we get to the fish ponds. It's still pretty wide walking, but I'm expecting that to thin out to a little bit of single track in a minute. Righto, so we're starting to go down. It's a really nice little track there. It's sort of it's still fire traily, but it's not like the one we were on before. So we'll head on down here to fish ponds. I think I've come down one of the side tracks because this is what I've just come down. Probably what, a 6 or 7 foot drop at the end of it, which I don't think would have been part of the plan originally. But you sure know you're back onto the normal walking trail of the Great North Walk. It's lots of stepping stones. It's very well track. This is it. This is the fish ponds. Well, the fish ponds are actually up there, but it's a pretty nice spot. So we're going to walk along here, right along the creek bed. We climb up a little bit, and then we drop back down to a old military bridge. You can even tell by the leaf litter it's degraded a bit more. Look at it, it would get a lot more traffic through here. Really nice spot. This is one of those really nice passages through the section from fish ponds to the military bridge. Oh, before I forget, if anyone out there, I'm sure there's plenty of us that do, hike with their glasses on, how good is a hat or a bandana to stop the sweat from letting your glasses slide down your face? Get so sick of putting them back on your head. But the bandana does the trick. I don't know why it's not in my pack. I had a look for it. I think I actually had it on whilst I was working in the garden last weekend, so I think it's in the garage. Sounds like a baby elephant's got lost in Berowra. we're coming up on the military bridge. Fish pond's 2 k's one way, or down the bottom fish k's 4 k's the other way. That's the fish ponds route over here, goes up and around that rifle range. So it's the historic military Steel Bridge. There you go, you can start to hear those rifles making it now. So it's a pretty cool old bridge. During heavy rain there's a bit of a waterfall that trickles down there. There's a few little drops falling off that exposed rock into the water, but when it's been raining it's a nice sight. And look, the wall there looks to be made of concrete sandbags. That's good. So the reaching the Steele Bridge is good and bad. It's good because you get to see the Steele Bridge, but we've got 3.8 k's to go to get to Galston Gorge, which is where we came from, and 2 k's worth of solid climb. And that's the flat bit. Let's go. So it's back to fire trails once you've gone over the Steele Bridge. At some of the climb up to the Tunks Ridge camp spot there's got paved road here, just so that the emergency services vehicles can get in and out if need be. Hang on, I'm going to use this other stick that you're sitting on the end of. Makes it a lot easier on the hills. Alright, well we're back at the top of the hill at the Tunks Ridge campsite. And we'll continue along here back to Galston Gorge. Righto, well we finally got there. So here's the tarp. So it's a military issue British tarp. It's really heavily sealed. It's got the webbing that runs all the way down both sides and along the centre ridge line as it would be now. It's got these heavy handles on it so that it can be used as a stretcher as well. Tie-out points, it's got the tie-out point and a grommet in each of the corners. Actually grommets through here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grommets along one side, 1, 2, 3, 4 grommets along the other side. It's all been seam sealed, quite a nice job. Again, I've got it on this side just so that you can see that seam sealing there. But on the underside, as you'll see, it's got more of that stripping. It's got some more pull-outs here, and there's that hand strap there that I was talking about. So look, it's a pretty good size. I like it. And the Bivvi bag is it's a New Zealand general issue. So it's one of these styles. So it gets it off your face a little bit and gives you that ventilation. There you go. There's the new purchases. Alright, well it's time for a cup of coffee. Righto, so that's the setup. I'm pretty happy with the way it goes up. I'm not staying out tonight, but I think it wouldn't be too bad. I've got a pad that I could, like an inflatable, self-inflating pad that I could run in that. I've also in the back of the ohm I run a piece of high density foam that just gives the pack a little bit of support. I also put it under my feet when I'm in the hammock in the cooler months, but I'm thinking that I'd be able to run that, even a bit of leaf debris under that, and and rather than a full sleeping bag, just the top quilt that I use on my hammock should be enough. I don't need the insulation underneath me, not with the bit of debris and the foam there. So I must have been starving. I'll tell you what, that worked alright. I put I don't know, about 400 mils of water into the Snowpeak 600, brought it to a bit of a boil, poured off all but probably 200 mils of it into the cup of coffee, and then just put the oats straight in it. Didn't put it back over the stove whatsoever, and just stirred it through, and it's good. Smashing this, starving. The art of scraping oats out of your pot. I've done these a couple of times before, and I've always put the oats in out of the water and then warm the water over the stove, but always used to get stuck on the bottom. But this way does the trick and you get a pretty good clean. We'll give that a wipe out in a minute. Righto, well that's about it. Bit of a hike, I don't mind that circuit. It was good. And there's the gear. I'm loving the tarp. Bivvi bag, not 100% sold on. I'll have to spend a night in it to find out. I think a lot of it's going to come down to what sort of ground you're on. But you can always get around that.